So Clemson has its pro day today, and T. Higgins runs a 4.4. But did he really? Yo, everybody, Lou King Ding back here. So today we have come with the hell is that? It's a big ass dog. Dallas still stinks. Yo, everybody doing? King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. And the first thing I want to do is thank everybody who joined me during my live stream today. It was a lot of fun. We hadn't done it in a while. We're going to be doing a lot of it now that all the sports I want to watch are gone. No NBA, no NHL, no Major League Baseball, no soccer. Well, I don't like soccer. I think it stinks. I mean, my thing is, why kick a ball when you can pick it up and run with it? So forget soccer. I didn't mean to say that one. We got the NFL free agency, which should really be the only game in town now. But they may delay the NFL too. There's talk tonight that even though the NFL is going to start this new year on a scheduled day, which I think is the 18th, they are not going to possibly have free agency start until after they vote on a CBA. So really not because of the virus, but more because of the CBA. And then I think, with the virus and with teams like the Eagles closing facilities, there's a chance that they may delay free agency also. So we may have nothing to talk about. I don't know what the hell to do. No sports, no action, no movement, no rumors, nothing. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to have to get on here and talk about the black-eyed children. I'm going to have to talk about the moon landing. I'm going to have to talk about the Giants with 6 fingers, 6 toes. It's going to be crazy. This is about to get nuts. You know what I mean? But hopefully, the NFL will continue, at least with free agency and the draft, even if they don't have an audience there and it's just on TV. I don't care. Let us have it during this tough time. I mean, I think football should try to have it because there's nothing. They will get all the attention. You know what I mean? But, hey, that's just me, and we're going to see what happens. So before it gets too dark, there are a few things I want to talk to you guys about. First thing, Cameron Johnston. His contract has been tendered. He'll be with the Eagles next year. Pretty cheap contract. Pretty good deal. I like Cameron Johnston. I'm totally okay with this. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. So that happened today. The other thing is, the Eagles have closed team facilities down. Now, you guys, I'm sure, have already heard this. Things are getting whacked out. Hopefully, this means, this doesn't mean that free agency is going to get delayed. I'm getting more and more of a feeling that it is, but I'm hoping not. I'm hoping they can find other ways to make it work. I mean, how hard is it to pick up the phone, say, hey, yo, Bradbury, we want you. We're going to pay you this. We're going to email you the contract. See ya. But, it doesn't work that way. People want to come out to the city, see if they like it, see how they feel. So, it very well could get delayed, okay? And the other thing, when it comes to team facilities, is the Eagles have already been gathering their pre-draft visits for some of these rookies, okay? And what that means is, for those that don't know, when you have a draft, you can bring in so many guys in for a pre-draft visit, okay? A lot of times you bring in guys you want to get to know better. Other times you just do it to throw other teams off because other teams want to know what teams in front of them or behind them are going to do, or maybe in the division. So you may act like you're more interested in a player than you are just to throw a team off, okay? I think that the Eagles, there was a story, I forget who it was. I think it was Don Terry Poe. They brought him in and acted like they loved him. Made a big deal. I think Washburn made a huge deal of this right back in the day. And then a team was scared the Eagles were going to take him, and I think they jumped him. But the Eagles they wanted Fletcher Cox the whole time, and they threw a team off. It's an old story, but I always remember that. But anyways, in these whole pre-draft visits, you do bring in people that you like and maybe people to throw teams off. And I find it interesting that so far, the Eagles have had only defensive players in. And these aren't star players. These are guys that are probably going to be day 2, day 3 type guys, okay? So that kind of tells me, because I believe at some point you're going to see the big name wide receivers come in. I believe the Eagles are going first round wide receiver, which is what they should do. And then they're going to look to defense in the mid rounds, and hopefully more so in free agency. But here's who they brought in. Now, I wrote the list. I only know one of these guys, kind of, so I'm going to have to look into the other ones. But they brought in linebacker Logan Wilson from Wyoming. Don't know much about him. Colorado linebacker hybrid safety Davion Taylor. That interests me. I was reading a little bit about him. They thought he could be somebody that has some raw talent that could develop. He's a developmental player more so than anything. Louisiana Tech corner Amric Robertson. Don't know much about him. Haven't watched Louisiana Tech all year. Probably in like 2 years. And then UCLA corner Darnay Holmes. Now, I watched Darnay Holmes. I like him. He's considered possibly the best nickel corner in this draft. I think he's about 5'10", but I'll put the link to his highlight film. The guy, I like him. I think he's a hustler. I think he's a pretty decent player, and he's considered, from what I was reading, to be the possibly number one slot corner in this draft. So we'll see. But he's somebody that I'm definitely keep my eye on. He would be considered to be a day 2 pick, so second or third round. So keep your eyes out for that, because I think he's somebody that sounds like the Eagles would like. And when you watch him and you watch his tape, he does look like the kind of guy the Eagles would draft. Okay. Now, today was a big day for T. Higgins. I have been waiting for T. Higgins to run. I wanted to see him run the 40, because when I put on T. Higgins tape, and this is honest, when I put on his tape, he seems very slow to me. He looks like he's slow. He's a great route runner, has great hands, does a lot of things good, but he looks very unathletic to me. Okay, it's just the way it is. I don't see a very athletic guy, and I think to myself, well, he's a big guy. Is he going to be very athletic? A few years he gets slower when he gets bigger. I want to see him run the 40. And I was doing my live stream today, and people were telling me, T. Higgins Pro Day. I forgot that T. Higgins had his Pro Day today. And they're like, people were saying he ran a 4.43. I said, 4.43? If he ran a 4.43, that could be big, because that would tell me he has better speed than I thought. So I got off the live stream. I looked it up. Sure enough, it was saying 4.43 unofficial 4.43. But the official times will come out later. And so I waited a while. I waited a couple hours. That's why I'm coming out late with this video. And Clemson finally released his 40 time. Okay, they finally released all the players, right? Isaiah Simmons kicked ass again. I think he only lifted, but Isaiah Simmons is the best defensive player that the Eagles could get if they were to trade a crap load. I don't think you could even trade enough to get up to Chase Young, but if you traded a hell of a lot, you could get up to maybe 8 or 9 to get Isaiah Simmons. You'd have to give up multiple first-round picks, probably a third or second. It would be too much. You can't do it, but if Isaiah Simmons was ever to fall like to 11 or 12, I'm trading up for him, because he's the perfect player for the Eagles. But anyways, I'm regressing now. He had a great day, and he had a great pro day. So he didn't even run, but he lifted, and he a very strong guy. But T. Higgins, his official times were 4.5, I think 4.53 or 4.56, something like that. He ran a mid 4.5. I figured he was going to run at best in the 4.5s, maybe 4.6, somewhere around there. And to me, that confirms that if it's me, I got to put him about maybe number 5 on my list of the wide receiver spot. I would say right now, my top 5 wide receivers in this draft right now, and it could change, but right now I would say CeeDee Lamb 1. 1A is Judy. I have Lamb and Judy like this because I think Judy had a much more impressive combine than CeeDee Lamb. Okay, but CeeDee Lamb just looks like, man, I don't know. There's something about him. I think he's going to be a stud, but I think Judy's a stud too. And it's really close between Judy and Lamb. So I would say 1 and 1A. 1 Lamb, 1A Judy. Okay, my number 3, because I'm going to skip it 2. I have 2 guys right there. But my number 3 would be Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs is the guy I want. He's my 3rd ranked wide receiver. He's my number 1 target. And I'm not coming off that, baby. I'm not coming off it. No way. Second. Oh, I did say it. 3rd was Henry Ruggs. Fourth, I have Justin Jefferson. He would be my fourth wide receiver. And five, I have to go with Denzel Mims. He would be my fifth. So I have to put T. Higgins at probably my number 6 wide receiver. I believe T. Higgins goes in the second round. I don't think he's going to go in the first. Athletically, his combine numbers weren't that great. I mean, from an athletic standpoint, his route running, his catching, fantastic, off the charts. As a football player, off the charts. I think the Eagles need to target somebody with speed and more athleticism, more of a playmaker than what I think T. Higgins is. So I have Lamb, Judy, Ruggs, Jefferson, and Denzel Mims as my top 5. And then Claypool is coming up that list strong, and before it's all said and done, he could break into it. But T. Higgins he ran about what I thought, and I think that if I'm the Eagles, I gotta pass him up. I gotta pass him up and focus on one of those other guys. What do you think about the Pro Day, T. Higgins, and the guys that the Eagles have brought in? Let me know. With that said, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. Take care. Talk to you later, and don't be a dingbat.